All right, Sarah, are you back?
Here.
Awesome. Sarah, would you like to give some Smyrna updates for the Smyrna Business Association?
Sure, I'd be happy to. First, I want to thank the board members. Let's see. There we go. All right. So again, a thanks goes out to our Smyrna board members and all the work that they've been doing. For the time being, we as a board have decided to keep our programming virtual. We'll be continuing to watch CDC updates and updates from the mayor and the county on when exactly we feel like it will be safe to resume in-person networking. And we will obviously let everyone know when that time comes. We have two more coffees on our schedule, Wednesday morning, August 19th and September 2nd. That is virtual via Zoom. It's a free networking option for our members and guests. We have some spots available for members who would like to be the 7-minute speaker during those coffees and share about their businesses. So if you're interested, please contact a board member or Paul Powers, who's signing of our members. And I also wanted to be sure that everyone was aware that Cobb County has started a second round of grants for small businesses. And there is, the county was given about 50 million, earmarked about $50 million for small business grants. About 7 million was given away in the first round, and there's over $40 million left for small businesses who apply and are awarded these small business grants. Mayor Norton, Commissioner Ott, Cobb Chamber, and Select Cobb hosted a webinar yesterday. I'll post the information to access that in a few minutes in the chat so that you can view that and hopefully it might answer some questions that you have. Applications are open through August 21st at 5 p.m. for the Select Cobb Small Business Grants.
Awesome. Thank you.
And for anyone who is joining us today who's not yet a member of the Smyrna Business Association, we would love to have you as a member. It's $50 to join for the rest of the year. You can do that from our website. Just click the Join SBA button. We've also got some COVID-19 resources on our page, including information about the grant program. And we'd love to join you at a coffee, have you join us at a coffee and learn more about our organization. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Sarah. And then now we are going to move on to the portion of the presentation with our sponsors. And first I want to give a big thanks. Here's a board of all of our sponsors. It's because of you that we're able to do all the things that we are able to do as far as giving back to the community. There is a lot that we do as it relates to the high schools and giving kids scholarships to go to college. So thank you so much to our sponsors. And if you are a sponsor, you have the opportunity at our programs to give a little bit about your business. And today we have Jeff Huey Heelsbeck with Carpe Tellum and Jabbar Dozier of American Family Insurance. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen now so that you all can see Huey. And we'll start with you, Huey.
Okay. Good morning, or actually good afternoon at this point. My name is Jeff Hulsbeck, but as Nick pointed out, most people call me Huey. I run a small web development agency here in Smyrna called Carpe Tellum, which translates to Seize the Web. Basically, a little backstory for me is I grew up in Fayetteville, Georgia, excelled in computer science and audio-visual stuff in high school. Ended up at computer science major at Georgia Tech. After college, I worked as a web developer at several Atlanta-based companies, most notably CareerBuilder. From there, I left CareerBuilder and actually started up a web agency with a friend of mine based out of Savannah, Georgia, where we worked on multiple clients there, including Georgia Historical Society. We built them an app for their historical markers. Juliet Gordon Low Birthplace, which is based out of Savannah. The Savannah St. Patrick's Day Parade, we created an app for that back way the early days of the apps. And then other small local businesses around Smyrna, or Savannah, sorry. While in Savannah, I actually created an app that we ended up selling to a company based out of Atlanta, an event management company. And that led to me moving back to Smyrna, which I bumped around Smyrna for a while in college and throughout my early adulthood, I guess. And then once we sold that company, I started my own agency, Carpe Tellum, and was contracting with the company that bought the app to help them integrate it with their solution, and went through a couple acquisitions there and ended up at Cvent, which is a large event management company, as a solution architect there, basically building out new services and stuff. So to today, I left Cvent because I wanted a little less corporate time, a little more time with my family. So I went back into my contracting business, which is Carpe Tellum. And Carpe Tellum, the whole goal there is to help people get their ideas, any ideas related to the web out and in the world. I've extensive experience in web apps, mobile apps, augmented reality. I've done a couple of augmented reality things, WordPress, e-commerce. I do a lot of things related to e-commerce and WordPress and getting people's sites up and on the web. So if you have any ideas that you want to see become a thing, let me know. You can reach me at carpetellum.com. That's CARPETELAM.com. And then my email is Huey@carpetellum.com. And if you have anything, just let me know and we can start talking about it.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that, Huey. And now we will open for Jabbar Dozier.
Thank you, Nick. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Jabbar Dozier, American Family Insurance. I've lived in Smyrna for probably 20 years, and my business that I started here in Smyrna, my agency, where we specialize in home, auto, life, commercial insurance. We're coming up on our 12th year anniversary in October, so super excited about that. Super excited about helping our community navigate through the insurance industry. And also, we just recently opened up an office in Dallas end of December. So we're excited about reaching out to our Paulding community as well as continuing our business and our relationships in Smyrna. American Family has done a lot. Obviously, we've been through a lot as a community as we deal with COVID, and American Family has kind of really stepped up to the plate with the relief that we've offered. We were one of the first companies to offer the relief back in March and April, and we did that. And now we're coming up on our second round of relief, starting anywhere from July through December. We're going to be giving back 10% on our auto premiums. So we're looking really excited about what we're doing there to kind of help our community get through this difficult time. And on top of that, we're going to be giving away but we're going to be deepening some discounts. So there are a lot of ways that you can look to save some money on your auto insurance right now. So if you haven't had a chance to take a look at it, now is the time. Now is the time. Companies are being a little more competitive. Companies are realizing that people are home and they have an opportunity to actually look at their program. So if you haven't done so, reach out to your agent and maybe reach out to one or two other agents just to kind of see where your program lies as it relates to the premium that you're paying. One of the things that I always try to do, especially in my community, I live in Smyrna as well, so I like to try to give back to our Smyrna communities. And one of the things I'm going to do as an agency for August. So make sure if you're not one of my Facebook friends, or if you haven't liked my page, my company page, please do so. we're going to give away $1,000 in restaurant gift cards in the month of August, just to support our local businesses and our local restaurants, because they're going through a difficult time. And a lot of them are doing some really good things to kind of navigate through this. We need them. Obviously, I don't know how, I can't eat at home another day without going out and checking out a local restaurant. I don't know about you guys, but I have to have my restaurant. So this is something that we're going to do. Again, we're going to give away $1,000 worth of gift cards in the month of August. So go like my page and just let us know how we can help you. And reach out to me if I can help you. If you want to take it, if you want to have an opportunity to review your plan, we'll love to do so. Thank you for your time, and I really appreciate what you guys are doing. And great job, Nick and the board. This was definitely the best Zoom meeting we've had so far. So thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Jabbar, and thank you so much to all of our sponsors and everything that you do. Now we're going to move to our Smyrna community update. And today, to provide us with that, we have Chief Joe Bennett of the Smyrna Police Department.
Hey, glad I could join everyone today, and have quite a few announcements covering pretty much all of our city departments. And we'll start with the Smyrna Recycling Center. I'd like to remind everyone they're still open Thursday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. by appointment. To make these appointments, please go to keepsmyrnabeautiful.com/recycling center. Also, Keep Smyrna Beautiful is beginning community cleanups in a platform much like Adopt a Mile, but the community cleanups are more frequent, suitable for individuals, and require less long-term commitment from volunteers. Keep Smyrna Beautiful will provide all the necessary supplies and training for volunteers. And they ask you to go to keepsmyrnabeautiful.com/community cleanups for more information on that. Out of our Public Works Department, they wanted to get the word out that Cobb County will be changing out some boundary meters on the water lines on Wednesday, August the 12th from 11 p.m. to around 4 a.m. These change outs will occur around the intersection of Cumberland Boulevard and Spring Hill Parkway over near the Cumberland CID area. And a few businesses will be affected, but I think most everything will be closed at those hours. Again, I would like to remind everyone to go to the city's Facebook page and take a look at the new PSA. Here's the ask, wear a mask. I think it's a good idea that we all join together in trying to protect our community and try to keep everyone free of COVID-19. Also, like to ask everyone to go on the city Facebook page and take a look at the recently passed non-discrimination ordinance. I think it's very good for our community. Also, temporary road closure, Whitfield Street, from August 5th to Friday, September the 11th. They're working on drainage improvements on Whitfield Street. There's a detour plan and a number to call with questions, and all of this is posted on the city's Facebook page. Out of our community development department, the Smyrna Bold Downtown Master Plan update. The final draft will be presented to Mayor and Council on August 13th, and it will be placed on the agenda for official action at the August 17th council meeting. The Smyrna Connects Transit Analysis and Feasibility Study. Final draft will be presented to Mayor and Council on September 3rd. And for their final review, comment, and an agenda item will be placed on the council meeting agenda on September the 8th for official action. And again, as someone has already mentioned, the small business grants for Smyrna businesses. Round 2 of the business grant initiative is currently underway. The date for submission of applications opened on July 27th, and the deadline for submission is 5:00 p.m. August 23rd. You can go to smyrnaga.gov, go to the COVID-19 response button, and follow the links provided on that page related to small business assistance. Also, the city is waiving temporary sign permits for businesses. I'm sorry, they're waiving the temporary sign permit fees for businesses, and this is good through August the 31st. Out of our Parks and Recreation Department, or Recreate Smyrna, they're continuing with the drive-in movie program. The last of these will be held September 25th. They're free, but space is extremely limited. So go to smyrnaga.gov, search for drive-in movie for reservations. Also on the Recreate Smyrna Facebook page, there are many outdoor fitness opportunities. Invite you all to take a look at that. They're also hosting a chalk art contest. Starting August 8th, residents will compete weekly for Parks and Recreation swag and prizes. And the artwork will be judged by the Parks and Recreation Department. Again, you can go to the city's Facebook page, city website to get more information on that. And with that, I yield. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief. And now, before we move into our keynote speaker, Kim Menifee from the Cumberland Improvement District, the CID, we're gonna do a quick raffle for some door prizes with some trivia. So I give the floor to Sarah Sorensen.
Hey everybody, we got some really great door prizes. We're gonna start it off with 2 Zaxby's gift cards. And so the first two to respond in the chat box with the correct answer to this trivia will get some Zaxby's food on us. So here is your question. Name Smyrna's 2 dog parks. Anybody?
Can city staff compete?
Go for it, yes.
Burger and Lake Court Park.
To put it in the chat box so I can see who you are.
I'd rather someone else get the gift cards, but it's Chief Bennett with the police department.
All right, we've got 1, Teresa.
There you go.
Go, Teresa.
Chief Bennett, I think we'd love to give you a Zaxby's gift card.
Give it to Teresa. She got them right as well.
I think you all, we have enough. Both of them are getting one, right, Sarah?
Yeah, we do. We do.
Yep. So both of you are going to get some Zaxby's.
All right, great. Teresa, we'll be in touch, and we've got several more gift cards to give away throughout the program. But let's go ahead and turn it over. I'll turn it back to Nick, and we can start on our keynote today.
All right, awesome. So now I want to introduce to you Kim Menifee. She serves as the Executive Director for the Cumberland Community Improvement District, or the CID. Having joined the state's first CID in May of 2019, Kim leads the efforts of partnering with commercial investors, government officials, and stakeholders to improve infrastructure and enhance the community in the Cumberland CID. Kim has long been active in the community organizations holding various leadership positions. She's a member of the Cobb Chamber Board of Directors, where she served as chairwoman in 2015. In addition, she was instrumental in launching Cobb's Competitive Edge, now Select Cobb, which we've been talking about a lot today. And she has served on numerous not-for-profit organizations in Cobb County and was named a notable Georgian by Georgia Trend magazine in 2020. Kim holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in journalism from the University of Georgia's Henry W. Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication. She and her husband, Chris, reside in East Cobb and have 4 adult children. Without further ado, I would like to give the floor to Executive Director Kim Menifee. And I believe that you all have some slides.
We do. I think we just need to be able to share those and we'll be ready to go. But good afternoon, everyone. It is truly a pleasure to be here. I really appreciate the invitation from Nick when he reached out and asked us to provide an update on the work that we're doing at the Cumberland CID. So thank you for the invitation, and I hope these updates will give you some great new information, but please feel free. Hope we'll have time for questions after I go through the presentation.
All right. Do you have the ability to share those slides, Adam?
It still says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Got you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you a co-host. And then that should give you the ability.
There we go.
All right, thank you. I wanted to start out and just share a brief overview about the Cumberland CID for those of you who might not be as familiar with our organization. You can see here to the map to the left that this green area represents the district, the Cumberland district, which is 6.5 mile radius. And the CID is made up of 190 commercial property owners who pay an additional 5 mills of property taxes. The CID started 32 years ago, and I think you will see just by what I'm able to share just how effective the work of the CID has been partnering with Cobb County and others to make transformational change in the Cumberland district over the years. But what we do is we leverage the funds that we receive. We are a government entity, so we're totally taxpayer funded, and these funds are used to advance transportation, infrastructure, and beautification projects within this 6.5 mile district. By 2024, the CID businesses will have invested $180 million into projects to improve the district. And really what that translates to as we leverage is into at least $2.5 billion worth of projects that have happened since our inception 32 years ago and will have happened through 2024. When you look at the Cumberland area, it is now one of the largest, most competitive submarkets in the Southeast. We are a major job center. We have, when we look at our economic impact, we actually completed a study at the end of 2019 where we really looked at the impact of the district. And you can see here the numbers really tell a great story. The numbers really share that we have an annual impact of $20 billion on the state of Georgia. We have a $15 billion impact annually as well in Cobb County. The Cumberland CID has an estimated 3,400 businesses with 69,000 jobs. 33% of those jobs are high-wage professional jobs that are offered within the district. And what's probably the most transformative thing that's occurred over the last, say, 5 years is that our residential population has grown exponentially. We now have 29,000 residents that are living within the district, and you can see here that 68% of those are millennials or Gen Xers. So building that pipeline and having not only the residents, but also the workforce also very much within the district. We're very proud of the companies that are represented within the Cumberland CID, the corporate headquarters for the Home Depot, having the Atlanta Braves and the Battery Atlanta actually was an incredible addition to the CID. We're home to Genuine Parts, HD Supplies, Synovus, ThyssenKrupp. You've probably all been seeing that tower being built over in the Battery, and certainly more companies that you are very familiar with. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the goals of the CID. We really focus our work around 3 areas: providing and improving greater access, connectivity, and placemaking and what we also call character within the district. We focus a lot of our projects on building beautiful environments for pedestrians, cyclists, multimodal paths, and really building those corridors within the CID. When the CID started 32 years ago, their primary focus was improving the transportation infrastructure. When we looked, and when those leaders looked, should I say, at the ability, Cumberland was growing at a very rapid pace. And they knew that property tax structure, the way that, when they looked at it at that time, the needs far exceeded the funds that would be available. So they really focused on transportation infrastructure projects, partnering with Cobb County, GDOT, and others to be able to bring those new systems and greater access into the district. But we've evolved, and as the district has matured, we've also added these additional projects that really focus on creating the multimodal paths, as well as looking at how we can more greatly unify the district. So we also focus on enhancing recreational areas and green space. We're really fortunate to have 840 acres of the national park within the CID. There are, I believe, 29 CIDs in the metro Atlanta area today, and we're the only one that has a national park. We have two units of the Chattahoochee National River within the district, Cochrane Shoals and Paces Mill Palisades. And then we also focus on improving the green space around the area, which I'll talk a little bit more about. But our work does continue to focus on integrating transportation solutions and also transit solutions into our work in the future. We're actually studying a transit solution today with the city of Smyrna, which is great to have that partnership. So there's 7 cities and 4 CIDs that are actually studying transit solutions across the top end of the perimeter, especially as the toll lanes, the express lanes for 285 are being considered, and how those projects could work together in the future. So when we look at leveraging our projects, and really what that entails is that since 1988, when the CID was created, we have constructed or leveraged over 65 projects. And when I talk about partnerships, is that we couldn't do our work without our partnership with Cobb County. They are vital, and we partner with them in everything that we do. In addition to Georgia DOT, as well as the Atlanta Regional Commission, we draw down federal funds for our projects by working with the ARC, as well as the State Road and Toll Authority. And then working with our elected officials is absolutely critical to our success. And when we look at the projects that we have been able to fund, their help has been essential. Our annual budget averages around $7 million. We will have a little bit of a decrease for 2020. Well, actually, it will be effective 2021, but it's our 2020 millage. Our board did make the decision to reduce the millage from 5 mills to 4 mills for this 1 year because they wanted to support the businesses in the district with the impact of the coronavirus, and really let them know that they understand the impact that it's had. So we will hopefully, we plan to go back up to 5 mills following, but we did make that change for the 1 year, which for us, that equates to about $1.5 million to our budget. But we knew that we could keep our work going, and it would be a really strong message to our commercial property owners. So here's some of the significant projects that the CID has accomplished over its 32-year history. And I mentioned, I could go through all of these, but I'll mention the Cumberland Boulevard Loop project at the top there. This was a significant project that really was a catalyst to adding and creating the access that is recognized around the district. It is, it took years, of course, to complete in 4 different segments, but it was an absolute game changer in being able to provide what we believe is one of the most important transportation and infrastructure projects that we've done. One of the things that our property owners really note is their ability to get around the district very easily and quickly. And this project really made a huge impact with that. And then our latest is really there in the bottom right corner, the Windy Hill Corridor and Interchange project. It was a second diverging diamond that was added into the Atlanta area, the first being over in Perimeter. It has been very successful and one that has really improved the traffic flow through that part of the district. A current project that you've probably heard a lot about because it was years really in the making is the Acres Mill Ramp project. This actually will complete the I-75 Northwest Express Lane project that GDOT completed at the end of opened rather in the end of 2018. One of the things that the CID recognized is that the final exit point, if you will, or entry point going north, exit coming south, is at Terrell Mill Road. And we have, as we noted here, over 100,000 daily commuters into the Cumberland district. And so our board recognized the need to create greater access, not only direct access, but also make it safe, because the way that the lanes are currently working is that you really don't, it's very difficult to access the lanes from the heart and the core of the district. So we've been working with our partners, as you can see noted here, to fund that project. And just last year, we gained our final funding through the U.S. Department of Transportation through an infra grant of $5 million, which has allowed us to move forward with that project. So construction will begin in 2021, and the project is really on schedule to open in 2023. And the photo that you see here just gives you actually we're pointing to it here so that you can see how it intersects into Acres Mill Road. So moving beyond transportation infrastructure, also trails are a big part of our mission and very much of a high priority for our board. So this photo here is actually the opening. We opened it last summer. It's the 1 mile extension of the Bob Callan Trail. For us, we call it the 2A trail because we're now working on 2B. But this will be a 4 mile trail once it's complete that connects our trail, continues to connect our trail system through the CID. We have 60 miles that are planned of trails within the CID. 38 miles of those trails are completed at this point. The Acres Mill Trail, I just will note that we added within the Cumberland CID is a project that we funded, and it really is a connector to all of the trails that I'm speaking of. And also I'll note that you'll see here at the bottom bullet point there, cumberlandtrails.org. We just launched a website that is also mobile friendly that really speaks directly to our trail network, because beyond the CID, we connect further. We connect into the Silver Comet Trail. Our goal is to connect up to Kennesaw Mountain, and then eventually we know Cobb County's working on connectivity through the Silver Comet Trail to the Beltline. So our trail network, the goal is just to continue to add connectivity so that those that live and those that work in the district can really get out, enjoy its natural beauty. So we're very proud of this trail. Without Cobb County's support, this trail would not have happened. It is absolutely took, I believe, 7 years to build and a cost of $9 million. It is a substantial addition to our trail network, and one that if you haven't gone out and enjoyed, I would encourage you to do so. So here's just a rendering of the trailhead that we are planning for that final mile, which is again what we call 2B, but it's the final mile of the trail that will lead up to Windy Hill Road, and it connects into the new Windy Hill Terrell Mill connector that the county is actually building at this time. So this is the trailhead that we have planned that will actually go beyond just connecting the trail, that will add a park atmosphere so that we can all go out and enjoy in a much greater way. We plan on adding our bike program and extending it here, and adding in our bike share program at the trailhead as well. But you can see here, it'll just really add just tremendous character and accessibility to parks in the Windy Hill area. So I mentioned bike share. This is a program we're very proud of that we have had in place for about 5 years. We did have to close it due to the COVID-19 virus, but we hope to open it by the fall. Zagster is the company that we partnered with, and unfortunately, they are a victim of the COVID-19 pandemic and have closed their firm. So we are working with our regional partners. City of Smyrna has had a successful program working with Zagster. We hope to all be back online at some point this fall, but we've been working with City of Smyrna, Town Center CID, as well as Kennesaw State, because they also had a Zagster bike share program. So we've all been evaluating companies, and our goal is to hopefully find another partner to be able to relaunch this program. But it's been highly successful within the district. Before we closed, we were approaching 6,000 rides, and a unique, for us, over 3,000 visitors who actually use the bike. So we're really excited about where this program's going, and we continue to add stations within the district. We have 6 stations today. We have 2 in the National Park. We have 1 at the Battery. We have 3 out in the district in addition to those 3. And then we're adding a 7th at the Galleria. It was slated to open in March, but we had to delay it. But we expect to bring that bike share location online as well, and then continue to invest in creating bike share and the multimodal paths throughout the district. The picture to your right really speaks to our investment in streetscapes and landscapes within the district. We devote a good portion of our budget to landscaping and creating beautiful landscapes. You'll note when you are driving on I-75, this is the entry point onto I-285, that is the CID's work, that we work to beautify those areas. But we also partner with Cobb and GDOT to help maintain, because obviously it takes a lot to maintain the area from a landscape standpoint. So we depend on those partnerships with them as well. And that's something that we'll continue to work and to maintain, and we feel like that is a major statement as to the character that we are seeking for the district. So I want to talk a little bit now about the projects that we are looking and we're working on now, whether we're studying or whether we're in active design phase for some of these projects. And the first one that I wanted to mention is we are calling right now the Cumberland Loop. That won't be the final name. We're working on a brand name for this project. We just actually just received our initial funding through the ARC to launch this project. But what it will be is it will be a 3-mile unified multimodal path that will connect the district. So when you think about the Cumberland district and you think about I-75 and I-285 and the 4 quadrants there, we want to connect with a multimodal path. So not only will cars be able to access the district very easily around the core, but also you'll be able to ride your bikes, also be able to walk the corridor very easily, really connecting our job center with all of our entertainment destinations. The real change for us when the Braves came into the district is that now we really have an even stronger entertainment district focus. We have the Battery Atlanta, we have the Galleria Center, so the Convention Center, and then the Cobb Performing Arts Center. So when you look at all the entertainment functions around the district, it makes for a really greater case to really add that additional mobility. So we're very excited about launching this project, and eventually our goal is to have an autonomous shuttle as a part of the project. Because if you can depend on jumping on a shuttle, not having to get in your car, going from one side of the district to the other, you will be encouraged to use that to be able to get to meetings, go to lunch, go to dinner, and really be able to enjoy the district in a much greater way. So that's a project we are very excited about moving into the design phase. That'll be our first start on a couple of the different segments. It's 5 segments of that project. So we're launching that this fall. Another project that really speaks to our partnership with the city of Smyrna. I saw Tom Bolin on this call just a moment ago. We've been working with Tom and city leaders on a pedestrian bridge that will connect across Cobb Parkway. And it will connect on the city of Smyrna side, across Cobb Parkway into the Battery, to the CID, and it'll add that pedestrian access. And just to give you an idea of where that is the bridge will connect at the Starbucks and the Steak and Shake. You can think about that as you go up from Nally, Lexus on Cobb Parkway. It'll connect between those two restaurants across into the Battery. So we've been working with the city of Smyrna on funding that project. We've applied for funding and will continue to help us get that project funded, but it's one that we think is incredibly important, not only to add the access, but it's also a safety issue. We've been working with Cobb County Police as well to look at not only pedestrian safety, but when you look at the number of cars that utilize Cobb Parkway, it really is a safety hazard not to have that safe. We do have a pedestrian crosswalk, but to elevate that could certainly be much improve the area. So we'll continue to work on that project. Paces Mill Palisades unit. We have a partnership with the National Park Service, and we just received approval from the Design Advisory Board at the national level to move forward to renovate this unit of the CRNRA. It is, as you all I'm sure are aware, is the southernmost tip of the CID down on Highway 41. It was built in the 1970s. And that unit of the park is one of their most highly utilized. So what we are proposing to do, is an $11 million project, is to level it and start over. Build a new visitor center. We want to enhance the ability to use the river for boating, for kayaking, be able to enhance the fishing experience. We want to add an amphitheater down in the area that you'll be able to access the river from that area. We have our concept plans, but now we will be able to move into design now that we have that approval from the National Park Service. So that's a very exciting project for us that now will move forward. And then continuing the trails, as I mentioned, with the Bob Callan 2B trail. So continuing, so those projects are significant for us. We just completed an update to our master plan that takes us through 2024. And these projects, certainly along with others, will be driving our work in the coming years. Nick had asked if I would speak to the redevelopment that is occurring over at Cumberland Mall. So these, the photos that I want to share with you actually came from Commissioner Ott. He's been very instrumental in working with Brookfield Properties, who actually own Cumberland Mall. And if we can go back one, let's go back one slide. There we go. And when you all, I'm sure, are very familiar, you know, Cumberland Mall was built 32 years ago. It actually has maintained, and Brookfield has continued to invest in that mall. And it's actually one of their most successful retail centers. So they want to continue to strengthen that mall. And this will add a tremendous amount of development into the CID and really redevelop this area. So what I wanted to share with you is what their plans are, actually going through the zoning process right now with Cobb County. But then they plan to move forward with developing what you see here. The first phase would be a 312 multifamily unit housing that would connect into the mall. Now, this obviously is in the parking area, but they also are getting ready to, in the old Sears space, they have, they're redeveloped that as well. They have Dick's Sporting Goods coming in. They have Galaxy Golf, as well as Planet Fitness that are taking that space. So if you think about then moving forward into this with the multifamily, this will be the first phase of their redevelopment. So on the next slide, this is just another view of the multifamily area that they'll be building this development. And then following that will be two towers that will be commercial space they'll be adding into the area. So it will change the skyline. It will absolutely add a great deal of walkability for these, these not only those that live, but those that work here. So adding, we hope, more jobs into the district as well. And part of their goal has been to add that walkability around the corridor and around this development. And this is just another view, just giving you another idea of how this development will impact the mall area. And then I want to speak to, I think we're almost there with the slides. This is that second tower. I mentioned two, so one and then two. But what I really want to mention about this area too is that Commissioner Ott has worked to put a new fire station. So when you look at the bottom left there, that would be a new fire station that would serve the district and serve the surrounding area. And then on the front side, as you all know, on the other side of the street now is a transfer station. There's a bus transfer station there. So that would actually move and would become a larger station on this side of the property. And that's particularly important as we look at how transportation will continue to evolve in the district. I mentioned earlier that we're working with GDOT now as they continue their development of the top end express lane system that's going to be built on 285. They're working, as you all I'm sure are very familiar, over in the 400 corridor right now with their major transportation improvement program. They'll move to the east side to put in the toll lane system first before then coming to the west side. And the west side project is slated to be completed in 2032. But in addition to that, and when I mentioned the city of Smyrna, we're part of a study that's now under consideration to add also transit. It would be a rubber wheel transit system if it were to come forward that would be potentially added to that project. So thinking about adding that and then that connectivity into the transit and transportation station here could be very, very essential to that project. So I wanted to give you an update and just let you know that this project we hope will move forward, but it will absolutely be a significant addition to the CID, and we're really pleased to have and hope to see it come forward.
Kim, we had a question come in. I think it's really interesting. Are there concerns with the CAD on occupancy rates for commercial spaces as businesses consider long-term work from home solutions? And I think that just goes to a bigger question of, are you able to really quantify and qualify how COVID is going to impact some of these plans?
Well, I don't know about quantifying at this point. I think it's early. I think what we're doing is we're really looking at market trends, speaking to our board members, because our board members and our commercial property owners that are part of the CID, of course, a large portion of our commercial property owners, of course, they're our developers. And they're looking at the trends, and they are very optimistic that the office market will continue to grow. It may grow differently because a couple things I'll mention, and I actually spoke a little bit about this in our small group, is that although, from their perspective right now, the larger the company, the slower they are coming back. They are seeing that trend. But they also are seeing that companies are going to have to plan differently. And if you think about how some office spaces are, currently, they can't come back because they aren't built to have the social distancing and some of the things that we're going to need to think about in the future. And they do see that impacting some companies having to take more space. So that's an interesting perspective in how they go forward. But in talking to our major developers, I don't know if you all are familiar, Piedmont bought the Galleria last year. They are continuing, just by example, they are full steam ahead and continuing some of their development plans on the Galleria property. They're adding additional retail, restaurants. They're adding in additional amenities to keep that property really strong. And I'm just using them as an example, but to keep that property current and continuing to adjust to market trends. So we're not seeing any decline yet, but that's not to say there might be a few bumps in the road, but they are highly optimistic that the market's going to continue to operate favorably.
Great, thank you.
And I'm happy to take any more questions. I know we've covered the small business grants, but I did want to make sure they were mentioned and you guys were on it. So didn't need to really go there, but I did want to make sure that you all were aware of that. But I'm happy to answer any questions that I can. I hope that gave you a good overview of not only where we've been, but absolutely where our focus is and where we're growing and how we're growing to meet the needs of the district going forward.
Fantastic. If anyone has any other questions, go ahead and pop them in the chat box. Otherwise, we'll start wrapping up. Thank you so much for all that information, Kim. I think it's really great to see how the CID is continuing to plan for growth, incorporating in the growth that the Braves have. And obviously, there are some bumps in the road that everyone is experiencing right now and some uncertainty. But I know Smyrna's proximity to the CID makes it a really exciting place to be, and to be able to, take advantage of the growth and the opportunities that are there.
Well, we're highly optimistic that we'll bounce back maybe more quickly than we would have thought. But our studies. One thing about a lot of the work that we do is it does take years to get to the final project. And we're engaged in a lot of studies looking at the future. So we really continue that work and continue working with our partners. And what's exciting is that Cobb County continues to grow, the CID, and in the Cumberland area, the city of Smyrna. It's really exciting to see how Cobb continues to be an absolute draw for companies and for those who want to live in a vibrant community. So we're very optimistic and really look forward to continuing to bring greater development into the area.
Fantastic. One more question pop up here. Is there a timeline for the bridge over Cobb Parkway leading to the Battery?
Well, there is. I think primarily for us right now is looking at the funding component. If we're able to get the project funded on, sooner rather than later, it was scheduled to be completed in 2022 to 2023. but that depends on moving from concept and design through, through construction. But I will tell you right now, I mean, we really are having to look at how we will fund it. We're having to take a step back and look at the utility cost. You would imagine there's a lot of utilities on Cobb Parkway. So our initial step forward, and Tom's on this call and I would welcome his comments, but we have to go back and really look at the cost of the project. It's expensive and we want to try to look at ways that we can mitigate some of those costs. So what we're doing is we're taking a step back now and looking at the design and seeing how possibly we could bring down the cost so we could move the project faster.
Great.
Awesome. Well, Kim, thank you very much for that presentation. That was very informative, a lot of great information. And the Smyrna Business Association does like to give to the charity of choice for our speakers. And I would like to let everybody here know as well, in case you are interested in donating as well. The Smyrna Business Association will be donating $100 to the Cobb Community Foundation for COVID relief. The Cobb Community Foundation for COVID relief. So if anybody is interested in donating there as well, if you Google that, it will come up. I don't know if Kim, if you had any more information.
No, absolutely not, but just to thank you, because I think that's incredibly generous. I think the foundation has done a tremendous job during this crisis to really support our community in such a variety of ways. And they just continued that great work. So really appreciate you making that donation, and I know it'll be good, put to good use for our community, so thank you.
All right, well, that's awesome. Couple quick things for you all before we adjourn the meeting. If you continue to check out the website, smyrnabusiness.org, of course you can join there and also check out the events for the next programs that we will be having. The next one will be on September the 10th, will be our next program that we have scheduled for our luncheon. So please watch out for your emails. And also, we send out text message alerts. So if you have your cell phone, if you type into your phone the phone number 63975, and you write the word Smyrna, you'll get text alerts of all of our events. So we'll say, hey, remember we've got our networking coffee. Hey, remember we've got this great lunch coming up and who's speaking and all that type of stuff. So continue to stay engaged. And thank you so much, everyone, for coming through. And Kim, thank you so much for your time. We definitely appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Truly, thank you for having me.
All right. This meeting is adjourned.
Oh, before we go, Nick,
Yes.
we've got one more set of door prizes to give away.
I forgot about prizes. Yes.
Before we go, we have incredible new business in Smyrna, Frenchie's Modern Nail Care. Some of you may know Margarita Toro. She's joined us for a number of events. She's generously donating 3 $30 gift cards. So our next trivia question will be for to get your nails done at Frenchie's. So here's your trivia question. Please type your answer in the chat box. So the first 3 to answer correctly will be getting some gift cards to Frenchie's. Here's your trivia question. This Campbell High School graduate and one-time Smyrna resident is an award-winning actress known for her roles in Steel Magnolias, Pretty Woman, and Ocean's 11. Excellent! It's Julia Roberts. I will be going through here. Okay, let me see. We've got.
It looks like Christy was.
We've got Christy. We've got Scott from Instant Imprints, and we've got Chase. Our first 3 respondents. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you to Margarita, and thank you to Zaxby's for donating our door prizes. And thank you, everyone, for joining today.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Meeting's adjourned.